Alright, so today we're going to look at solving quadratic equations by factoring. So we did a whole unit on factoring, the different types of factoring. We did GCF, we did difference of perfect squares, some people also call it difference of two squares. We did trinomial when a is equal to 1, and we did trinomial when a is greater than 1. All these are going to come into play when I solve quadratics by factoring. The first example I want to look at, if you notice, it's already factored. If we were to cover up the equals 0 and we just had a factoring problem, we would be done. So I want to use what's called the zero product property in this case. What we're doing is we're looking for one of these to equal 0, because when you multiply, anything times 0 is 0. So these are already factored. What I want to do is I want to tee it up. Okay, I make a t chart here, and I'm going to set both of my factors equal to 0. So I have x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 5 equals 0. Remember, I'm looking for those numbers of x, those values of x, that'll make this equation true. So on the left-hand side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides because I need to solve for x. So I get x equals negative 2. And I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and I'm going to get x equals 5. Remember, these are my solutions. We did talk about quadratics here, which these are also my roots, my zeros, and my x-intercepts. Okay, all these mean is it's the points where it crosses the x-axis. When I am solving here, if you look at the negative 2 and the factor, we can maybe form a pattern to see, oh, okay, we have positive 2 and my solution is negative 2. I have negative 5 in the factor and I have positive 5 in the solution. Now, of course, this only works when it's x plus or minus a number. When we get coefficients of the x value, that won't work. Alright, another example down below, we have x squared equals negative 9x minus 18. Now, it's not factored for us. We have to go through a little checklist here. Okay, the first checklist is my x squared term, let's do x squared term positive. Okay, so we have x squared, it's positive here. The next is set equal to 0. The whole thing has to be set equal to 0. So obviously I have x squared equals negative 9x minus 18. I have to move the 9x over, so I'm going to add 9x to both sides. And in the same step, I'm going to add 18 to both sides. Get it all done in one. So on the left-hand side, I have x squared plus 9x plus 18 equals 0. And the last thing, it has to be in standard form. Highest exponent to lowest, which I have here. Now I'm going to factor. Okay, so when we did factoring, in this case we have trinomial, I still look for a GCF, which I don't have one. I'm looking to see what adds to positive 9 and what multiplies to 18. If I still need to make that chart to the side, I can. Alright, there's only so many numbers that multiply to 18. I'm going to go ahead and say, just for this, I'm going to say 2 times 9. 2 plus 9 is 11, that's not what I'm looking for. 3 times 6, that's 9 there. Okay, that works. So my factors, I'm going to have 2 sets of parentheses. I'm going to factor out this x squared to give me x and x. And my factors are positive 3 and positive 6. Now we're right back to the first example here. So I want to tee it up, and I'm going to set both of my factors equal to 0. And I'm going to solve for x in both. So minus 3, giving me x equals negative 3. Subtract 6, x equals negative 6. So my solutions you may see like that. You also may see these curly brackets with my two solutions written out. Okay, so again, solving by factoring. I don't spend too much time on the factoring part because we spent a whole unit on it, but the solving part is new, where we tee it up and set all of our factors equal to 0. So here's 2 examples, and hope this helped. Thanks, guys.